Hello, bonsoir. Motherland for Salem Season 2 is just around the corner, and we can't wait. We literally can't, like Spain, but without the S. But since we have to wait, I'll bring you a recap of Season 1, so you feel fully up to date when the date comes. Here we go, Motherland for Salem Season 1 recap. There are balloons popping, and causing people's deaths. But first things first, this is Rael. Rael is a healer, and she's very angry because her mom died in battle. In the army, which is where Rael is going now. This is Abigail. Abigail is also going to the army, but she's high Atlantic, and might or might not have a superiority complex. Her mom wants her to do well in the army. And this is Tally. Tally was given the option to not go to the army, but she will go either way, because balloons popping actually belong to a group of bad people called the Spree, and she wants to do something about it. And that doesn't make her mom happy. Then a medal floats, and they chant, and off they go. Now our three new friends will start basic training, which is where the army decides if you can go to war college or be deployed early and die at a very young age. Then we hear words from a very, very old woman that doesn't look that old. Our three friendly friends that were mentioned earlier are in the same unit, but Rael doesn't want to be there, so she does a lot of wrong things. But in between those wrongs, she meets Scylla, a necro that works with the dead, and is already in this previously mentioned war college. Abigail is angry and wants to change units, because Rael is going to get her deployed early, but she's given a big no-no. Then Rael does another mistake that makes her float and sent to the infirmary, but was worth it, because it was a romantic moment with Scylla. Then she gets angry with Abigail because of unsolved issues with her mother. Then she gets friendly with Scylla, and she wakes up in a better mood, so she stops making mistakes, for now. She makes truce with Abigail. Then Rael wants to get friendly with Scylla again, but we see that Scylla is actually friends with the balloon people. After lurky time all night, Rael kind of gets angry at Scylla because she doesn't know who Scylla really is. We do. It has something to do with balloons. Rael is late because of lurky time, now has guard duty. We meet a president that's stressed about the spree, and we meet a friend of Tally's. Then an award is announced that witches that scream the loudest will go and have some air. We meet a nemesis of Abigail's that stole her thunder on an important night. Rael has her guard duty, meets a lieutenant that talks wonders about Scylla and tells us that Scylla's parents died. Then we see that the lieutenant is actually Scylla. Then Rael falls asleep. That pisses Anastasia off, and she makes Abigail scream. Abigail gets angry, but refuses to get help from Rael. Rael follows Scylla, but Abigail follows Rael. Rael gets angry. Then the unit screams the loudest and wins the award previously mentioned. Then we see that Tally is a cinnamon roll. We also see that General Alder is like the Kardashian of this universe, or something like that. Rael follows Abigail. They bond over shading civilians. Scylla takes Rael for a night walk. Scylla reveals zero information, but sings, and she's cute, and that is enough for Rael. On the town, a rumor spreads that the Spree are there, but a man yells at Tally, and Tally yells back. Then they have a party, Tally makes a special speech, and Scylla talks to a balloon that breaks a mirror. Now, some boys come to visit Fort Salem. Apparently, there is going to be a Turkey Time festival called Beltane, because it gives power to the witches. They play a game that I don't know what it's called. Tally has her eyes on a dude named Garrett. Rael gets confronted by a random dude that knows Scylla from the past. Abigail gets a 2-for-1 package. Then there is like an international emergency because of the pre-attacks. We hear about a tribe in China that has special seeds, aka special powers, that could help the army, but Alder refuses to interfere. Meanwhile, Rael realizes she doesn't actually know Scylla, so she confronts her about it at a freaky museum, and it turns out that Scylla's parents were Dodgers, and the previously mentioned random dude knows her from there, and used to be her boyfriend. But touching the army is illegal. So Scylla's parents were caught, and the army killed them, when those were in the protocols. Then Abigail shades her nemesis, then has some fun. Tally kisses Garrett, the random dude confronts Scylla, she plays with his head, he jumps to his death, Rael tries to save him, but fails, and hurts herself in the attempt. Now, today is the day of Beltane. Rael tried to save the random dude, and now she's having visions of him visiting Scylla, which raises a lot of questions. The unit prepares for the Turkey time. Scylla has a problem because the Necros are going to see what was the last thing that the random dude saw and heard. So she does witch stuff. Rael confronts her, she answers questions with questions, then Rael meets Byron, a nice dude that quotes Shakespeare and raises more questions about Scylla. Then everybody has a dance-off at the Beltane. Tally ends up with Garrett, Abigail with her 2-for-1, Rael with her new pal Byron. Everybody has turkey time, except Rael. She talks about her feelings and gay shit. Then Scylla manages that the random dude doesn't tell the truth with the help of a balloon buddies. Everything goes a-okay. Tally's happy because of her first time. Abigail invites the unit to a wedding. Scylla talks to Rael with her pretty words and have a beautiful moment under a tree. Thanks to Turkey Time Festival, the witches have more powerful weapons. Scylla gets sprung by the balloons and threatened because she's bad at doing her job. Now there is a wedding, and Rael wants to bring Scylla, but Abigail shows the finger and makes Rael angry, so Rael and Scylla have a cute moment. Scylla gives Rael a death mark, or not. It might be something cute. Then Scylla gives the finger to Abigail and shows up at the wedding anyways. Abigail gets angry and stressed, because that is just Abigail thinks. Her unit has an interview with the Dean of War College, and she wants to make a good impression. A beautiful wedding happens, beautiful because of this. They eat lobster, they dance, Abigail's still stressed out. Tally finds Garrett, but Garrett has some news to deliver, but he doesn't do that because apparently he's a coward. Tally finds out about some rough news about Garrett being engaged. She gives the finger to the Dean of War College, but it doesn't matter, because all the Dean wants is Abigail's last name. Rael and Scylla dance some more. Scylla's stressed out because she's supposed to deliver Rael to the spree, but she has a lot of feelings. Abigail has a nice cousin-to-cousin moment. Tally cries, listens to Scylla talk to a balloon in the bathroom. She proceeds to snitch to Anacostia. Not cool, Tally, snitches get stitches. Scylla chooses her feelings and gives the finger to the spree. The spree give the finger to Abigail's cousin and the entire wedding. Everything turns out bad. Scylla is snatched out of nowhere. Abigail fights like the goddess she is, and everything ends up really sad. Things really went places on episode 5. Abigail is wrecked, and so is Rael. Meanwhile, Tally is worried because of the things she's hiding from Rael. Abigail is in denial. Rael is screaming a lot. We find out that someone is targeting the Bellwether Motherland, and that it might not be the spree after all, but some other very scary people. But General Adler is like, no, she's in denial. A lot of denials in this episode. So Abigail's mom gives Abigail a bodyguard, which upsets Abigail more. Also, a man arrives to Fort Salem because his sister is sick. And then Rael explores and touches some strange thing, and is told that Scylla is dead. Then receives a message from her, takes several stars, and she jumps to the beach, so Tally and Abigail have to go and save her. Abigail is having nightmares, but still she denies it. Then ends up talking about it, receives help from her bodyguard. Tally gives herself a pep talk to not feel guilty about the Scylla thing. Rael screams some more. We see some very beautiful sorority moments that we stand. We cry because these women are in a lot of pain. And to end with a plot twist, Scylla was not swept by the spree nor killed, but was kidnapped by the army, and now she's being interrogated while trying to send love notes to Rael. Scylla is being held by the military and having a nice meal, while being friendly held by the shoulders. Rael is being called a salva freak because she wanted to fly like Peter Pan. She gets angry and puts everyone to sleep. Then Abigail makes a new body, the guy who came in looking for help for his sister on the previous episode. He's a real rad guy, sometimes even edgy. Tally is like, I never want to see Garrett again, but then she's like, never mind. They have some turkey time, and Tally keeps avoiding Rael. The witches are incompetent in helping Kalida, the sister of the edgy guy. And Abigail is like, oh my god, my friend who put everyone to sleep might be able to help. And she does. Rael and her nothing thing on her finger save Kalida. Then the brother shows Abigail some very rad power, and Abigail is like, oh my god, the military could use this. But the rad guy is like, I'm too rad for the military. Keep it in your pants, Abigail. And he's kind of right. The military kind of sucks. Then Rael is given a taste of her own medicine and is put to sleep. Then she's taken to visit Scylla. They have a beautiful sad moment which is followed by some screaming, a little bit of Sila's backstory with some balloons involved. Then Rael wakes up and vomits. Then Anacostia tells them that City Drop is starting now, meaning at a very early hour in the morning. City Drop is a thing that we will find out the next episode. General Alder talks to Kalira and convinces her to show her the powerful ways of her people. But after some a cappella and dead plants, Kalira is like, "F you, General Alder." Now the unit is doing City Drop, which is basically an exercise that looks kind of dangerous, and it will determine if the unit goes to War College or will be deployed early. Tali starts fantastically by falling on the wrong leg and breaking it, but since Rael is a very talented person, she heals her, and by linking with her, she finds out the whole Scylla having tea with her balloon friends thing. Rael doesn't believe it, and now is angry at Tali, which leads to a lot of failures during this very important exercise. Then Abigail finds out too, and is angry, because she blames Scylla for the death of her cousin, so that leads to a lot of mistakes. Then Rael finds out about a lot of oopsies that Scylla actually did, and starts questioning things. Then they start making amends, not just the unit, but Abigail and her longtime nemesis Liva. Meanwhile, the military is trying to attack the spree, with the intel that they took out from Scylla, but they are pranked, and things go wrong. But they found trucks that are transporting bad things, and the best idea is to send people that are trying to manage an exercise to fight them. Shockingly, not shockingly, they do very well. Tali shows Gibbs, saying that the truck has hostages, but Tali receives the finger from the military and Alder. Rael forgives a spree with the face of Scylla with a punch in the face. And sadly, Abigail's old nemesis, very recent friend Liva, dies during battle. Alder gives a statement saying that the spree killed the hostages, which Tali and now her unit knows that it's blasphemy, which leads us to a lot of questions. Tali is going through a rough time. She feels the feelings of now the dead hostages, and is very angry at Alder. Abigail also has a lot of feelings, because Liva is dead, and in return she is asked to give the eulogy at her funeral. In the meantime, there was a very bad attack on some mountains that is where Kalira and the Rat brother are from, and it is believed that it wasn't made by the balloon friends. Alder is trying to convince Kalira to give her the songs that seem to be very powerful, but Kalira knows better, and we agree that Alder is not. She is just not. Scylla won a vacation trip to the Caribbean, and now Anacostia is having mixed feelings about it. Scylla asks to see what Rael won last time, before her maybe not so fun vacation. Abigail gives a powerful eulogy and everybody stands. Alder's bad decisions make it to the Oval Office, and the president in charge wants to give her early retirement. Tali is asked to be in a 2-for-1 turkey-lurkey time, but refuses it, because Garrett forgets to tell her about a lot of things, including a previously talked 2-for-1 turkey-lurkey time. Rael sees Scylla, and now they just have a sad moment, which ends up in a lot of tears. Alder gives the finger to the president and refuses early retirement, and throws in there the allowance to eat Kalira's people, which wasn't done before, because diplomacy. Anacostia finds out about Alder giving the finger. Rael confesses that she and the unit might have something to do about Alder's early retirement, which didn't happen, and now all of them are in a tough spot. Now our friends are graduating, but plot twist, they don't make it to War College, and it is believed that it is all about the things Alder related. Kalira agrees that Alder goes and find her people, but insists that the unit goes with her to the mission. So, not a second to celebrate graduation, our High Atlantic is given the chance to go to War College by herself, which is like wow, not cool, but surprises us and stays with her unit. Scylla bonds with Anacostia over the dead parents, then Anacostia sets her free, but makes it look like Scylla escaped. And now the unit is over at some mountains helping the Tarim. Rael does magic things because she's gifted. We already know that, and she should know it too. Alder explains the thing about puppeting the president, but it all sounded like excuses to me. Tali also shows very cool talents. Alder says that they, after all, might get into War College. Everything feels like a breeze, but then they are attacked, not by the balloon friends, but by the Camarilla, that are kind of intense and scary. A lot of things go a lot of ways. Tali ages in a second what we all have aged in March 2020 to March 2021. To save Alder, a kid makes a bad decision resulting in Rael getting stabbed, which feels kind of illegal and homophobic.
if you ask me. But Abigail goes to the rescue and saves her, which is not homophobic nor illegal anymore. Then they decide to take a walk, because the ride left without them. Then Scylla goes to a very suburban house that belongs to the spree, and plot twist, she meets her boss and her mother-in-law at the same time. How intense!
And that is all for today. I hope that you're as excited as me for Motherland for Salem Season 2. To my 47 subscribers, you're the reason why I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face. I'll see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.